Nobody expected this. Patrick Mahomes walked into the press room days before the Texans game and completely shook the NFL world. He didn't stick to the usual script. There were no cliches about executing the game plan. The room went silent. You could feel the tension. Mahomes dropped a massive, unexpected announcement about a personal struggle he's been facing off the field. He didn't ask for pity, he asked for clarity. He told the world that this struggle has ignited a fire in him, making him more locked in than ever. The reaction was instant. The internet blew up, but the real story happened inside the locker room. The team didn't just support him, they rallied. Practice was described as the most intense of the year. Andy Reid told them, real leaders step up in moments like this. Now, the narrative has flipped. This isn't just a game against the Texans anymore. It's a mission. Mahomes is focused, the Chiefs are unified, and the rest of the league is on notice. A motivated Patrick Mahomes is the most dangerous thing in football. T was supposed to be a routine media day. The Chiefs were preparing for the Houston Texans, and the questions were expected to be about coverages and playoff implications. But the moment Patrick Mahomes stepped to the podium, the temperature in the room changed. Mahomes, usually stoic and guarded, was visibly different. Part serious, part emotional. He skipped the standard football talk and delivered an announcement that silenced the room. He revealed that he had been battling a significant personal matter off the field. But instead of letting it be a distraction, he declared that this adversity had given him a new purpose. He told reporters he was playing for something bigger than just a win. The shockwave was immediate. While social media debated the implications, the scene inside the Chiefs facility was one of pure brotherhood. There were no empty words, just handshakes, hugs, and a collective realization, we are riding with him. That emotion translated immediately to the field. Reports from practice described a team that was sharper, faster, and more aggressive. Andy Reid addressed the squad, reminding them that they are a family first and a football team second. As night fell over Kansas City, Mahomes was seen staying late, reviewing film alone. It wasn't stress, it was total focus. What began as a press conference became a rallying cry. The Chiefs aren't just looking for a win against Houston, they are looking to fight for their leader. Patrick Mahomes has rewritten the narrative heading into this week's matchup against the Houston Texans. In a stunning departure from his usual media demeanor, the Chiefs quarterback used his press availability to address a personal situation that has since galvanized the entire organization. Mahomes admitted that off-field challenges had been weighing on him, but emphasized that addressing them publicly was necessary to clear the air and eliminate distractions. The result? A level of focus that teammates say hasn't been seen all season. According to insiders, the announcement sparked an intense, disciplined practice session, with head coach Andy Reid praising the team's unity. Even the Texans have taken note, with defensive leaders admitting they are preparing for a highly motivated Mahomes. The Chiefs have turned a moment of vulnerability into a competitive edge. All eyes are now on Sunday, as a unified Kansas City team looks to channel this emotion into a dominant performance. Chiefs Kingdom, brace yourselves. What just happened with Matt Nagy has completely stunned the NFL world. We aren't talking about a routine rumor, this is a jaw-dropping, stop-everything moment. News broke out of nowhere. 1 minute, the Chiefs are prepping for the next game. The next, insiders are blowing up, and social media is in meltdown. Reports confirm Nagy called a closed-door meeting that left players pacing the locker room in shock. Even veterans like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes looked blindsided. This isn't just a coaching change, it's a seismic shift for a 6-6 team fighting for its life. Is this the shake-up that saves the season, or the moment the dynasty finally cracks? One thing is for sure, the Kansas City Chiefs just entered the most unpredictable chapter of their history. If you thought the Chiefs season couldn't get any crazier, think again. Matt Nagy has just delivered an announcement that has shaken the foundation of the franchise. It wasn't a leak, and it wasn't a rumor. It was a bolt of lightning that nobody, not even the players, saw coming. According to sources inside the facility, the atmosphere shifted instantly. Nagy called a sudden closed-door meeting. When the doors opened, the reaction was telling. Players were described as stunned and emotional. We're talking about a locker room that has seen everything, yet sources say even Andy Reid, the calmest man in football, appeared visibly shaken. The fallout was immediate. Patrick Mahomes, usually the master of composure, took a long pause before addressing the media. Travis Kelce stared at the turf, admitting he was completely blindsided. This decision forces the entire organization to pivot instantly. Game plans, chemistry, and trust, everything is now in flux. Whether you viewed Nagy as an offensive genius or a controversial figure, his departure, or specific move, changes the math for the rest of the NFL. Rival teams are scrambling to adjust their scouting reports, and Chiefs Kingdom is debating whether this is a disaster or the spark they desperately needed. The next few days will define the future of this team. Breaking news out of Kansas City. Matt Nagy has stunned the organization with a move that could alter the trajectory of the Chiefs season. The announcement, made during a private team meeting, has sent shockwaves through the league. Sources describe the scene inside the facility as chaotic and emotional. Players and staff were reportedly caught off guard, with key leaders like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce expressing visible surprise during media availability. This level of disruption is rare for a franchise known for its stability and long-term planning under Andy Reid. The timing couldn't be more critical. With the Chiefs sitting at a pivotal point in the season, this decision forces an immediate schematic pivot. Analysts are already debating the ripple effects. Will this unsettle the offense further, or will it force a necessary evolution? Social media is currently ablaze with theories, but the reality is simple. The status quo in Kansas City is over. How Andy Reid and the front office navigate the next 48 hours will likely determine if the Chiefs can salvage their season. We will keep you updated as more details emerge. Kingdom, hit the panic button. Andy Reid, the calmest man in the NFL, just made a decision that has completely stunned the league. We aren't talking about a routine roster move. We're talking about a massive, season-altering shocker right in the middle of a playoff push. Insiders say the locker room is shaken. Players held an emergency closed-door meeting immediately after the news broke. Mahomes looked tense at the podium. Veterans are confused. And the fans? They are in full meltdown mode. Reid doesn't do drama. He values stability above everything. So for him to pull the trigger on something this drastic means things behind the scenes were even worse than we thought. The dynasty is on the line. Is this the move that saves the season, or the final nail in the coffin? Kansas City is holding its breath. 4 years, Andy Reid has been the definition of stability. He doesn't panic. He doesn't overreact. But today that changed. With the tension building for weeks, close losses, offensive inconsistencies, and mounting pressure, Reid finally reached his breaking point. The announcement hit the facility like a lightning bolt. Sources confirm that players were completely blindsided. The mood inside the building shifted instantly from focused to frantic. This wasn't a minor tweak. It was a calculated, high-stakes gamble made right in the heart of a playoff push. The reaction was immediate. A closed-door players-only meeting was called shortly after the news dropped. When Patrick Mahomes faced the media, the usual calm demeanor was gone, replaced by visible tension. He didn't criticize the move, but his refusal to downplay it spoke volumes. Why now? Why, with the season on the line, would Reid disrupt the chemistry? The answer is simple. He saw a problem that couldn't wait. This decision is a signal that complacency is dead. The Chiefs are now heading into the most critical stretch of the year with a locker room that has been rattled to its core. Breaking news out of Kansas City. Andy Reid has made a stunning personnel decision that has the entire NFL buzzing. The move, characterized by insiders as unexpected and drastic, comes at a precarious time for a Chiefs team desperate to secure a playoff spot. Reid's decision breaks his long-standing pattern of patience and stability. Reports from the facility indicate that the announcement triggered a players-only meeting, with veterans and younger players alike expressing shock at the timing. The implications here are massive. Rival teams are already analyzing how this shift will impact Kansas City's game planning moving forward. Analysts are questioning if this is a sign of internal friction or a masterstroke to wake up a struggling roster. One thing is certain. Andy Reid does not make impulsive calls. If he felt this was necessary, he believes the status quo was no longer sustainable. All eyes are now on Sunday to see if this gamble unifies the locker room or fractures it completely.